Hi, I'm Lauren Sapala. I'm launching a new live class this November called the Creative Commitment Challenge. This class is going to be a little bit different this time around. I'm really excited about it. We're going to do 30 days of live silent writing sessions over Zoom. So that's every day for the entire month of November. I'm also going to be doing teaching Q&A weekly on Monday nights, but the bulk of the class is really going to be focused on these daily writing sessions. This is designed for people who are doing NaNoWriMo, designed for people who hate NaNoWriMo and don't want to do it but want to be part of something during the month of November. We're going to all be doing this as a group. You can join in every day. You can join in once a week. The important thing is that you feel that community and you have that sense of your peers around you writing. This will change your writing life. I actually came up with this class because this is the way that I finished my novels. This is the way that I started and finished my nonfiction books, was in silent writing groups. I hate the act of writing. I admit it. I'm not ashamed to admit it. It's really hard for me. It was always really hard for me. And it wasn't until I joined a group that did silent writing that I realized the power of writing within a group. And then I started my own groups. If you've been watching this video series, you know in the last video I talked about writers who hate the act of writing and how I was one of them. And one of the things I did to get past that was to start my own writing groups. I started one in Seattle. I started one in San Francisco. We met on a weekly basis in a cafe, and that's how I started and finished pretty much all my books. So this works. I can tell you this works. This is a total game changer. This takes you from stuck and frustrated and not doing very much writing at all to building a regular writing practice, building stamina, showing up, committing to writing being an important thing in your life. So part of the class that we're also going to be focusing on, which I'll talk about during the weekly Q&As if you join, and I'll talk about in the Facebook group. We have a private Facebook group with every live class. I'll be talking about it there, is some of the common writing struggles and blocks that all kinds of writers go through. And a big one, the one I'm going to address in this video, is why it's so hard to make time to write. This is one of the biggest things that writers talk to me about. They say, I really want to be a writer. I really value writing in my life. It calls to me. I have conversations with characters in my head, or I know I'm supposed to write my memoir, or I have this big grand idea for a project, but I can't seem to get started on it, or I can't seem to finish it because I can't make any time to write. And I know this is kind of everyone. We all have busy lives. You know, you may work, you might have small kids at home, you might have not so small kids at home with COVID, but everybody's got different demands. For people who are intuitive writers, INFJs, INFPs, but also the extroverts out there, the ENFJs, the ENFPs, writers who are emotionally centered, feelers, right? Caretakers, nurturers, people with high levels of compassion, which most writers are. These types of people tend to put everybody else first and themselves last. And if you read around the internet, you know, it's really easy to find articles like, put yourself first, self-care should be your priority, you know, you have to be kind to yourself first. That's all well and good, but for intuitive people, for emotionally centered people, this is really, really hard, because the moment we put ourselves first, that means we have to say no to someone else, right? So we have to say no to our kids, no to our spouse, no to our boss, no to our coworker, no to our cat or our dog. We have to say no to someone. And the second we say no, guilt and shame come in. We pretty much immediately get triggered. We feel very guilty, and we can go into self-deprecation mode. Like, well, I don't deserve it, or now this person can't get their thing that they need. I'm causing trouble for them. I'm adding to their suffering. The list goes on and on and on. This is a really hard thing for intuitive, emotionally centered people to deal with. It's an ongoing struggle. So part of the November class is going to be getting past that struggle. We're going to be learning about how you can put yourself first. And it's really comes down to it like an old financial trick I learned a long time ago. They say, pay yourself first. That saying is very true. When you sit down to do your monthly bills, if you're trying to put a little bit away in a savings account, pay yourself first. Because if you pay everyone else before you, that money will run out. The point is, Everyone always needs a little bit more of your energy, a little bit more of your time, a little bit more of your resources. So if you pay everybody else before you pay yourself, of course you'll run out before you get to you. You have to pay yourself first. That's what the Creative Commitment Challenge is all about. Paying yourself first, giving yourself your creative time first, making it a priority, saying it's a priority, telling other people it's a priority, claiming it as a priority. And you don't have to do it alone. You're going to be doing it within a group. Let me tell you, it's so much easier when you can tell all the other people in your life, look, I signed up for this thing. I'm part of this thing. I made the commitment. Other people are counting on me. I gotta be there. I signed up for this thing. That's why my writing groups worked. I told my spouse, I told my kid, I told my job, hey, I can't stay late at the office. Hey, sorry, I'm not going to be home for dinner tonight. I signed up for this thing. I have to be there. Other people are counting on me. Other people are expecting to see me there. That's what the Creative Commitment Challenge is all about. Doing this every week in the month of November. Now, like I said, I'm going to be offering a daily live silent writing session over Zoom every single day for the month of November. But it's okay if you can't make it every day. If you can just make it once a week, you will see significant change from your writing life right now and your writing life at the end of November. I promise you, you will see significant change. You will see marked progress in the writing project you're working on, whatever that might be. It's not about word count. It's not about meeting goals. It's about committing protected time to your writing life every single week on a regular basis and building that stamina of showing up. So we're going to have the commitment to protected time. We're also going to be writing in a group, and that's a totally different experience. If you've never had that before, you really draw on the collective energy of the group. It's much easier to be creative and to flow and to get into that zone, that space where you want to be when other people are surrounding you, even if it's virtual. And the community support. The community support is invaluable. Like I said, we'll have the private Facebook group. I keep all my Facebook groups open after the class ends, so that's going to go on and on forever if people keep showing up and want to be there. I always keep them open. So I can tell you, I know this works because it worked for me, and I thought nothing would work for me when I started writing 14 years ago. I was like, I'm a lost cause, I'm a hopeless case, I'm a walking disaster when it comes to writing. This actually works. So I really hope you're going to join me in November. This is video 2 in the series I'm doing on the class before the class officially launches next week. So if you have any questions, any concerns, any thoughts brewing in your head, if you want to know the class schedule to see if you can make the Zoom sessions, if you want to know the cost, email me. I'm happy to share all the details with you. Just email me, writecitysf@gmail.com. Leave a comment in the comments box below. You can also get a hold of me on my website. There's a contact form there. Tweet me on Twitter, message me on Facebook. Get a hold of me and let's get the questions answered. Next video, I'm going to be talking about writers who can't finish anything. This is another really big writing struggle and block that so many writers deal with. So we're going to be tackling that big one, and I'm going to tell you how the Creative Commitment Challenge can also help with that as well. Until then, I will see you guys in just a couple days. Send me your questions, please.